Listen, life doesn't care about your excuses. It doesn't care about your comfort. It will knock you flat on the floor. And then it will wait to see if you have the guts to stand back up. That's the real test. Not how good you are when everything is smooth, but how strong you are when everything is falling apart. The power of never giving up is not some fancy quote you put on a wall. It's war. It's you against the voice in your head that says, "Stop. It's too much. You can't do it." Every time you ignore that voice and push one more step forward, you're proving something, that you are tougher than your pain, tougher than your fears. Look, people will doubt you. They'll laugh at your ideas. They'll tell you to be realistic, to slow down, to settle. But the truth is, the ones who keep going after being told no 100 times, those are the ones who break through. You're not going to win by being perfect. You're going to win by refusing to quit. Remember, this pressure creates diamonds, but only if you don't crack. Every setback is a setup for a comeback. Every failure is training. The only way you lose for real is if you stop moving. So if you're tired, good. It means you're working. If you're scared, good. It means you're about to do something bigger than yourself. If you failed, good. It means you're in the arena, not sitting on the sidelines. Never giving up doesn't mean you won't cry. It doesn't mean you won't stumble. It means no matter how many times you fall, you drag yourself back up and say, "Is that all you got?" Your future belongs to the fighter, not the quitter, to the one who refuses to stop, no matter how heavy it gets. So don't just stand there. Fight back. Keep pushing. Keep climbing, and when life hits you again, and it will, smile. Because you know you're not done yet. Listen, pressure is the thing everybody runs from. But it's the exact thing that forges you into someone unrecognizable from who you are today. When life puts weight on your shoulders, it's not punishing you. It's training you. Think about it. How do muscles grow? You don't sit on a couch and magically get stronger. You put your body under resistance. You lift weight that feels too heavy. You push until your arms burn. And it's in that pressure that your muscles tear and rebuild stronger. Life works the same way. Without pressure, you stay soft, you stay fragile. You stay unprepared for the storms that are coming, whether you like it or not. Every setback you faced is not the end of your story. It's the gym session for your soul. When you fail that exam, after weeks of studying, it feels like humiliation. But what it really is is training in resilience. When your business idea collapses and people whisper, "See, I told you it wouldn't work." It feels like loss, but in reality, it's life teaching you what doesn't work so that your next move is sharper, stronger, smarter. Pressure creates strength. Think about coal. Under normal circumstances, coal is nothing special. Black, dusty, ordinary. But under the weight of the earth, under pressure so intense, it's almost unimaginable. That same coal transforms into a diamond. Not because it wanted to, but because pressure gave it no choice. Are you willing to be coal forever? Or are you ready to let the weight you're carrying turn you into something unbreakable? People complain when things get heavy. They say, "Why me? Why now? Why is it so hard?" But the real question is, why not me? The world isn't handing out strength for free. You don't get courage, patience, or toughness by accident. You earn it in the fire of problems, in the grind of failure, in the lonely nights where nobody claps for you. But you keep going anyway. Look at your daily life. When you wake up tired, but still show up for work. That's pressure creating discipline. When your bank account is low, and you figure out how to stretch a little to survive, that's pressure building creativity. When people doubt you, but you still show up, still fight, still push, that's pressure sharpening your character. Every champion you've ever admired, every person who has inspired you, was built out of setbacks. They were rejected, embarrassed, knocked down, broken apart, and instead of giving up, they decided that the weight pressing down on them would not bury them, but build them. So when the pressure comes, don't run. Don't fold. Don't cry about how unfair it feels. Look it in the face and say, "Fine, test me, break me, push me harder." Because deep down you know the truth. You don't get strength when everything is easy. You get strength only when you survive what was meant to destroy you. Listen, people will always have something to say. They'll doubt you. They'll laugh at you. They'll throw their opinions like stones, trying to break your confidence. But here's the truth. They don't want you to realize. Their doubts don't define you. Their voices don't write your story. What defines you? What builds you? What shapes who you become is the persistence you show when everyone else bets against you. Think about it. Every time you tell someone your dream, notice how quickly the room gets uncomfortable. You say you want to start a business. They say, "Too risky." You say you want to lose weight. They say, "You've tried before. You'll give up again." You say you want to be the first in your family to graduate. They say, nobody in our family has done it. Why should you be different? Their doubts are loud, but their doubts are not your destiny. Daily life is full of this. A kid at school, always told, "You're not smart enough," ends up studying in silence, night after night, until the same people who laughed are forced to watch him wear the cap and gown. A worker in a small office, mocked for having big ideas, keeps grinding, keeps learning, keeps failing forward, until one day he builds something so big that the same co-workers who doubted him line up to ask him for advice. Persistence is louder than doubt. Imagine a runner. At the starting line, people point and say, "Too slow, too weak." And maybe at first he is. Maybe he comes in last place over and over. But every morning he ties his shoes and hits the track. Rain, sun, pain, he shows up, and slowly, almost invisibly, he gets stronger. Then one day, the same voices that called him weak are shocked, because he doesn't just run, he wins. That victory wasn't about talent. It was about persistence. People's doubts are projections of their own fear. When they say, "You can't," what they really mean is, "I wouldn't." When they say, "That's impossible," what they really mean is, "Never had the courage to try." If you allow their limits to become your limits, you bury your future before it even breathes. Persistence, though, persistence is your weapon. Persistence is when you fall, and instead of staying down, you crawl forward. Persistence is when you knock on doors, and even after 100 slams in your face, you knock on the 100 and first. Persistence is when your bank account says 0. Your energy feels drained, your friends stop believing, but you whisper to yourself, "Not yet. I'm not done." Every breakthrough you see in this world was born out of someone being stubborn enough to keep going when everyone else quit. Persistence doesn't make life easier, but it makes you unstoppable. People's doubts fade with time, but persistence carves a path that no opinion can erase. Listen, failure isn't the enemy. People fear it, avoid it, hate it, but failure is actually the most honest teacher you'll ever meet. It doesn't sugarcoat. It doesn't lie. It doesn't flatter you. It shows you exactly where you stand and exactly what needs to change. When you fail, the world is not telling you you're finished. It's telling you this is feedback. Adjust, improve, try again. Every no you hear, every rejection you face, every time you fall short, it's not a wall. It's a sign pointing you closer to the right path. Think about a child learning to walk. How many times do they fall? Dozens, maybe hundreds. But does the child sit on the floor and say, "I failed. Walking isn't for me"? No. They use every fall as information. They balance a little longer next time. They take one more step before stumbling. Failure in their world is feedback. And that's why eventually every child learns to walk. So why do adults treat failure like it's final? Look at your own life. You apply for a job, and the answer is no. Your first instinct is to feel crushed, to think you're not good enough. But what if that no is feedback? What if it's saying, "Your skills aren't sharp enough yet. Go train harder"? What if it's saying, "That position wasn't for you. Something better is coming"? The no is not rejection. It's redirection. Every successful person has a trail of failures behind them. More than most people even dare to risk. A writer's book gets rejected by publisher after publisher. A singer hears no from audition after audition. An athlete loses more games than the world will ever remember. But each failure taught them something. How to rewrite, how to perform better, how to sharpen their strategy. Those lessons stacked up, and one day, the yes arrived. But that yes wouldn't have meant anything if it weren't for the 100 no's that came before it. Failure is like a mirror. It reflects back to you the truth, the parts of yourself you must strengthen, the habits you must break, the mindset you must upgrade. Instead of running from that mirror, you stare into it and you ask, "What is this moment teaching me?" Once you start seeing failure as feedback, every loss becomes training, every rejection becomes a tool, every mistake becomes a map. Picture this. You're trying to open a locked door. You try one key. It doesn't fit. That's failure. You try another. It doesn't fit either. Another no. Most people give up here, assuming the door will never open. But the truth is, every wrong key teaches you something. It narrows down the search. It tells you what doesn't work. It brings you one step closer to the right key. When you finally slide in the one that turns the lock, you realize the no's weren't wasted. They were necessary. Every no is not the end. It's a checkpoint. It's the universe asking, "How bad do you want this?" And only those who keep moving past the failures ever earn the yes listen. The real battlefield is not out there in the world. It's inside your own head. The fight is mental. It's not you versus them. It's you versus you. It's the voice whispering that you're tired, that you can't go on, that you should quit before you embarrass yourself. That voice doesn't need weapons. It just needs your agreement. The moment you say, "You're right, I can't," you've already lost. Every single day, that voice shows up. When the alarm goes off at 5 a.m. and your bed feels warm, it says, "Stay here, you deserve rest." When you fail once, it says, "See, you're not built for this." When people laugh at your dreams, it joins them, saying, "Maybe they're right." The fight isn't about how heavy the weights are in the gym or how many hours are in the day. The fight is about silencing the liar inside your head that keeps telling you to stop. Think about athletes. Yes, their bodies are strong, but their true strength is mental. A boxer in the 10th round, bruised and gasping for air, doesn't keep throwing punches because his body wants to. His body is screaming to quit. He keeps fighting because his mind refuses to surrender. A marathon runner doesn't cross the finish line because her legs feel good. Her legs are on fire. Her lungs are burning, but her mind says, "Oh, one more step." Look at daily life. You're at work, buried under deadlines, and the voice says, "It's too much, you can't finish." But if you push, if you silence that thought and break it down one task at a time, suddenly, what felt impossible gets done. You want to start a side hustle, and the voice says, "Too risky, you'll fail." But if you ignore it, if you just start small, you'll look back months later and realize you built something that voice told you was impossible. The fight is mental. It's when you go to the gym and the voice says, "Enough. You've done enough." But deep down you know you have 2 more reps, 1 more set, 1 more push. It's when you're broke and the voice says, "Give up? You'll never get out of this hole." But you decide, "No, I'll learn, I'll hustle, I'll find a way." It's when everyone says you're not ready, but your mind answers back, "Watch me." Here's the truth. Your mind is either your prison or your weapon. If you let it run wild with fear, excuses, and doubt, it chains you down. But if you train it, if you condition it to focus, to push, to endure, it becomes your greatest power. The strongest body will collapse without a strong mind. But a strong mind can carry a broken body across the finish line. Every voice telling you to quit is not there to destroy you. It's there to test you. The question is, will you listen to the weakness, or will you rise with the strength that's been hiding inside you all along? Listen. Everybody wants victory, but not everybody is willing to pay the price. People love the idea of winning, of standing on the stage, of being celebrated. But they don't want the bruises, the nights of doubt, the endless grind when no one is watching. Here's the raw truth. Real victory doesn't belong to the most talented, or the luckiest, or the ones with the easiest road. Real victory belongs only to those who refuse to stop. No matter how many walls they hit, no matter how many storms try to drown them. Think about a runner in a marathon. The crowd cheers loud at the starting line. But when the miles stretch long and the body aches, the cheering fades. The runner is left alone with pain. Some stop, some walk away, but the one who refuses to stop, who keeps moving even when every muscle screams, that's the one who tastes victory. Not because they were the fastest at the beginning, but because they were relentless at the end. Look at daily life. A student wants to pass an exam, but the subject is tough. The failures pile up. The pressure feels unbearable. Most students give in. They accept defeat. But the one who refuses to stop, who studies a little longer, who rewrites their notes, who tries again and again until the answers finally click, that student walks away with victory. It wasn't intelligence that made the difference. It was persistence. Or picture someone building a business. In the first year, the money isn't coming. The support is thin. The stress is heavy. Friends start saying, maybe you should quit. Maybe this isn't for you. Most people do quit. But the rare few who refuse to stop, who learn from the losses, who adapt, who knock on doors, even when the last 10 slammed shut in their face. They are the ones who eventually stand tall with success. Not because the road was smooth, but because they didn't leave the road. Real victory demands scars. It demands nights when you cry in frustration, mornings when you drag yourself out of bed with no motivation, moments when the weight of doubt tries to suffocate you. But every time you choose to continue instead of collapse, you're moving one step closer to that victory most people never see. When you refuse to stop, something changes inside you. People around you start noticing. They may not understand. They may call you stubborn, obsessed, crazy. But deep down, they respect it because persistence is rare. Most people bow out early. Most people surrender when it gets ugly. So when you stand your ground, when you say, I don't care how long it takes, I'm not leaving this fight, that's when life eventually rewards you with victory. Real victory isn't given, it's earned. It's carved out of pain, sacrifice, and resilience. It belongs to the one who keeps walking when the road seems endless, to the one who keeps fighting when the odds are impossible. To the one who refuses to stop, even when everything inside them screams to quit, listen closely. Every word you've heard today has been pointing you to one truth. Life will not hand you victory. Life will test you. Life will break you down. Life will push you to your knees, and then it will whisper, "Let's see what you're made of." And in that moment, everything depends on whether you get back up. The world doesn't remember the ones who almost made it. The world remembers the ones who refused to quit. You have to burn this into your mind. Pain is temporary, but quitting lasts forever. When you stop, when you surrender, that's the story that stays with you. But when you push through, when you keep going, even though your body screams for rest, even though your mind begs you to stop, then pain becomes your servant. It fades, but your strength stays. Think about it. Every champion you've ever admired wasn't stronger, wasn't faster, wasn't luckier. They were stubborn. They said, "I will not stop until I get there." And the world had no choice but to move aside for them. That's the energy you need to carry in your veins. When life tells you no, you say, "Watch me." When the crowd doubts you, you say, "I'll show you." When your own mind tells you you can't, you look in the mirror and whisper back, "Just one more step." Remember this line: fall 7 times, stand up 8. It's not about never falling. It's about never staying down. It's not about how many punches you can throw. It's about how many you can take and still keep moving forward. Victory is not measured in trophies. It's measured in endurance. Your future self is watching you right now. 10 years from now, 20 years from now, that version of you is either thanking you or cursing you. If you quit, that future version of you is trapped in regret, stuck thinking, "If only I had held on a little longer." But if you fight, if you dig in, if you keep going when it hurts the most, that future version of you is standing tall, smiling, saying, "Thank you for not giving up on me." Every dream you carry, every vision in your heart, it's possible, but only if you refuse to stop. Persistence breaks walls. Persistence turns no into yes. Persistence transforms ordinary people into legends. The difference between the person who makes it and the person who doesn't is not talent. It's grit. It's the refusal to quit when everyone else has already walked away. Listen, you are stronger than you think. You are tougher than you know. Every scar on your body, every failure in your past, every moment you thought you couldn't survive, but did, That's proof. Proof that you've got more fight left in you. Don't waste that. Don't bury it under excuses. Ignite it. Fuel it. Let it carry you when your legs feel heavy, when your back is against the wall, when your heart feels tired. There will be days when the world laughs at you. Let them laugh. There will be days when the storm feels endless. Walk through it anyway. There will be days when everything inside you screams. Quit. Silence it. Because if you keep going, if you keep moving, if you keep fighting, then sooner or later the world has no choice but to step aside and let you pass. And when that moment comes, when you stand there having conquered the battles everyone thought would destroy you, you'll realize it was never about the applause, never about the medals, never about the titles. It was about proving to yourself that nothing and no one could make you give up. So let them doubt you. Let them call you crazy. Let them walk away. Because the story of greatness is always written by the one who refused to stop writing when the ink ran dry. Pain may test you. Fear may chase you. Failure may visit you. But if you never give up, victory will eventually bow before you.